Good evening! Hey,
we're here. Mike's not here.
No, Mike's not here. Where'd he go?
I don't know. So, yeah, he left.
Okay.
And I am getting updates on occasion.
All right.
So
Okay.
I thought I'd let you guys know.
I just want to make sure he's okay.
Well, he's fine.
Okay.
One of his friends heard that he hadn't been surfing in a while and invited him on a last-minute surf trip.
Oh.
And, he had nothing scheduled this week. So
Wow.
he's surfing.
Really nice.
I heard that he's doing something a little out of character. He's learning to paddleboard, which is kind of surprising.
That is very surprising. I did not see Mike Davis on a paddleboard.
Luckily, the friend that he's traveling with also has my number. So he's texting me live updates. So would you like to see
Really?
Mike Davis?
Oh, it's like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Attempt
Let's
to
see.
paddleboard. All right. So we've got beautiful waves.
Okay.
Oh, no. We've got a crowd, an audience. And
is that Mike?
Yeah.
Wow. The dolphin said, excuse me.
Yeah. Evidently, it's going really well.
Wow.
Making friends with the locals, as always.
Well, at least it wasn't a shark. You know how he gets.
Yeah.
So why would a dolphin do this here, marine biologist?
Because you're in the way. Because you are in the way, my friend. I mean, it's not going to hurt them.
Right.
They've got a layer of blubber.
Yeah, God
and
bless.
so, it's not going to hurt them to bump into you. And it's not like you're attached to anything heavy.
Right.
You're just going to fly. So, yeah, I love that for Mike. I hope that he has a great week.
Yeah, God bless.
I mean, we'll see if he's back on the board tomorrow.
Well, we have some extraordinary guests in the studio tonight. We're going to be talking about the St. Augustine Yacht Club.
Which is super interesting. And I had always driven past the building. And so I knew it existed, but I had never seen anything going on there.
Okay.
And so when you let me know that we had friends from the yacht club coming, I do what I do and I Googles. And so I've been doing research. It's super interesting. They have a long history. It's tied to so many big names and important names.
Mr. Flagler.
It's super cool.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I'm excited.
So let's get some business out of the way and we can introduce our guest coming up real soon.
Make some bills, make some money.
Hey, I got to give a big shout out to South State Bank. The team at South State Bank is a group of bankers you can count on. Their approach to building a long-term relationships with their customers is the best in the business. If you're looking for a banking relationship you can depend on, check out South State Bank. They've got 3 locations to serve you in St. Augustine, which is State Road 312, State Road 16, and the beach.
Mike's favorite.
That's his favorite. I like the one on 16 because you got to be more careful when you're turning into that spot.
That's a scary turn.
It is.
Yeah.
He's on down the road on that one, Scarecrow. Yeah. Head over to southstatebank.com. They're great, member FDIC.
They are. Bozard Ford Lincoln in St. Augustine. Their goal is to make sure your time and experience buying a car is stress-free, fun, and enjoyable. Bozard is a family-owned Ford dealership that has been in business since 1949. Bozard Ford Lincoln. I want to say Lincoln first. Bozard Ford Lincoln
I would too.
has been the recipient of numerous dealer awards, including being ranked #1 automotive dealership in the nation by Dealer Rater. Bozard Ford also has won back-to-back President's Awards, which is the highest honor given by Ford Motor Company. If you don't want to head down there, you can check them out online, but you should go down there and you should have a 904 Now burger.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? I don't understand why you wouldn't have my burger.
Jiffy Burger. It's got Davey's name on it.
I mean, hello.
You gotta eat the meats with Davey's name on it, I'm just saying.
I'm not cheap, baby. Let's go.
A to Z offers free estimate, and they have been serving St. Johns County for over 20 years in the construction industry. A to Z offers painted metal roofs for saltwater area homes with warranties for up to 25 years. Ooh. They also offer shingle roofs with warranties for up to 50 years. They install tile roofing, cedar shake shingles. I can't say it.
Oh, you're so close.
Cedar shake shingles. It's the hard one. Designer roofing and flat roof coverings. Recent job photos with material descriptions can be seen at A to Z Roofing and Waterproofing.com. I was so cocky going into that. I was like, I'm going to nail this.
I do that read too, and I get so cocky, and I'm like, it's coming up, it's coming up. Sort of like Tanya Harding with the triple axle. Yeah. She landed it one time. Every time, yeah, she just fell apart.
Well, but they made too big of a deal about it.
Yeah, way too big of a deal. It's a turquoise outfit, that's why. Hey, Carmelo's Pizzeria is a spicy meatball, locally owned and operated by the Tringali family, voted best pizza 9 years in a row. Wow. They've got New York style brick oven pizza. They also serve salad, subs, wings, best wings ever, and more. 123 Burger House, locally owned and operated by the Tringali family. They've been voted best burger for 3 years. Burger, chicken wings, salads, authentic wood fire, pizza, ice cream, you name it. They're amazing. They offer dine-in, takeout, delivery through Bite Squad and Grubhub. God bless you.
It's a Monday, y'all.
Yeah, right. The Tringali family and the staff would like to thank you for their business. Make sure you play they do their free pizza giveaway on every Wednesday. I'm praying for Kathy Herrera because she's always at it.
Mike
she's
never tells me these things.
I know.
Free pizza?
I mean, for years they've been doing it. I want to meet somebody that won, though. I just want to meet somebody that won. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, come on the show.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that free pizza.
How was your free pizza? I want to meet you. Yeah.
We're salty today on a Monday.
Oh, it's fun. You know, we're doing it for the children.
Yeah. Speaking of the children, I've been talking to children all day. It's homeschool community day.
I believe it.
So I'm a little extra hoarse, a little raspy.
Oh, it's nice. Little Belinda Carlisle behind the breath. I like it. Circle in the sand.
Bear with me. Bear with me, y'all. We have amazing guests.
Yes, we do.
Would you like to introduce your friends?
Yeah, absolutely. We have Angie and Marissa here from St. Augustine Yacht Club.
Yes, we do.
They're celebrating, 150 years?
Oh, yeah.
This is amazing.
We haven't been there that long.
Oh, I was like, really? I was like,
You
wow.
look amazing.
It's like,
What syrup are you using? And hi, welcome. You're on now.
Oh, hello, everybody. Hi. Happy to be here with Angie.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you guys for coming. I'm going to adjust the camera if you want to ask the first question.
Yeah, sure. So, guys, talk to me about the yacht club. Give everybody like a little bit of facts about the history and the legacy of the yacht club.
Well, like you were saying, Henry Flagler was one of the famous members of the yacht club, and it's been around for 150 years.
Oh,
and
wow.
it hasn't always been by the lighthouse. It's kind of moved around, but
Oh, I did not know that.
yeah. So now it can be found just by the boat ramp and the lighthouse area right there, and it's a beautiful building.
It's beautiful.
gorgeous.
And it's tucked away. It's just this little niche over there. I love that. And now, Marissa, you do the youth services, right?
Yeah, the sailing center side.
Oh, talk to us a little bit about that.
So everything on water that goes on. We have an extensive summer program to teach kids how to sail. And kind of the kids who get hooked stay and learn how to race year round. We also do after school programs, little adult learn to sail. And love working with Angie this year on some adult racing as well.
So, really? So there's a whole racing element to this as opposed to, just learning how to sail too.
Correct.
Because there's a lot that goes on. You got to duck. You got to learn how to lift and bend and snap. I'm a hot mess.
All of it.
Oh my
Bend and
goodness.
snap all
Bend
day.
and snap is
all
a very
day.
important
All
move
day.
on the bar.
Yeah.
How are you with sailing? Have you ever gone out?
I learned how to sail when I lived on a schooner for 3 weeks.
Oh.
And I haven't sailed since.
Look how
So
fabulous you are, though.
Did you get a tattoo?
I did not get a tattoo. I was so tempted, but it was like, I already had the dolphin tattoos. I'm a dolphin trainer too. So I'm like, I can't be every single cliche of someone that lives by the beach. But so, yeah, in my college, we had really cool learn as you do programs. And so we had sail at sea, semesters at sea. And I did a mini semester in the summer where we did whale research. We took 2 courses and we lived and learned how to sail a historic schooner. So I was
Where were you?
I was on the Harvey Gamage. We took out of Greenport off the coast of Long Island. She's a gorgeous ship.
Oh.
So the engine died while we were on it. So we ended up getting waylaid in Provincetown. Not Provincetown. Yeah.
That's called real sailing.
Yeah.
Breaks down.
Provincetown,
we
probably.
got
Real
waylaid.
experience.
We stopped in Provincetown. We got waylaid where the Andrea Gale was out of, the Perfect
Like in
Storm ship.
Massachusetts?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we were in Massachusetts. We get waylaid. I ended up helping them change the engine out, a diesel engine, because I was the only college student that wasn't afraid of them while they were working. And so I was like, can I help? And
cool.
they accepted help.
Yeah.
Everybody else was just like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. I don't know what
I've
to
been
do
in
either.
enough.
You had
I've
me
been
at
in enough
waylay.
kitchens that I was like, well, you ask if someone needs help.
What is waylay?
So-
What does that mean?
You're stuck.
Okay. Why don't you just say stuck? I don't even know. There's so
don't
much
know.
terminology. I
I don't
gotta
know.
learn the
Sorry.
culture.
Using her salty
So Gloucester, my mom got it. It's Gloucester, Massachusetts. So we were stuck in Gloucester for a week while we changed the engine. I ended up we came in, we kind of zigzagged out in the ocean looking for whales, did plankton tows and looking for the animals that were around the whales, and came in Boston Harbor. And
Beautiful.
they asked, okay, well, we've got 3 potential spots where you can ride into the harbor aloft. Do we have volunteers? And anytime they would let me in the rigging, I was like, so I got to ride in Boston Harbor aloft on a 133-foot
That's
tall
above
ship.
the deck. Like,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good. You saw me just lost
So
the
the
information
verticals
over
go
here.
up,
Okay.
and you can climb all the way up, and you can hang out up there.
Wow.
Super
The
cool.
masts.
Wow.
It's one of my favorite pictures of me was someone stood in that position and looked down while I was taking the last bit of the
how
climb.
cool.
It's a
you'll
fun
have
picture.
to post that.
Yeah.
I think I have it. I'll see if I can find it.
Very special
Probably
moment.
have it on film.
I got to, yes, it was definitely filmed. My college boyfriend, he was in the dark room and he printed it for me. That's how old we are.
Love it.
So that's my sailing experience, but it was just the one time.
So,
great.
can you guys define for me, because I heard Sailing Center, right? And then there's also the Yacht Club. The two kind of separate things, separate programs, or they're all together?
Basically, it's one and the same. The Sailing Center is just the nonprofit arm that handles, the youth sailing mostly.
Oh, okay.
So we're able to accept donations for scholarships. We do over $15,000 of youth sailing scholarships a year.
Wow, that's
amazing.
great.
Yep.
How many kids do you have every year?
So in the summer, this past summer, we had almost just over 400 kids, almost like upwards of 420. And then we have about 60 on the race teams every
is
fall and
incredible.
spring, and then about another 30 to 40 that do just kind of 1 day a week after school programs. So throughout the year, it really adds up. We reach a lot of kids.
Well,
That's
Marissa, you've
awesome.
been doing this for a long time, right? Like, how long have you been doing?
Jumping into my 6th year.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're filed in my brain as sailing. Like, I just know, like, if I need sailing, you are my go-to for that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I love that.
So, can you talk about the kids that you serve? Like, are there kids that, like, need the scholarship? Are they inspired? What do they do with the sailing scholarship?
Yeah, so we have parents and guardians of all kinds reach out to us yearly, asking for scholarships or programs. We have on our website, there's like links and an application to fill out. And once we receive those, I just make contact with them, have a conversation, get to know them, see where they'll best fit in. We've had every socioeconomic background in St. Johns County come to us.
Awesome.
We've had kids of all kinds, all ages, many different countries.
Really?
Yeah, it's been
That's
wonderful.
awesome.
Yeah.
Any success stories?
Yeah, tons. I guess the most recent that sticks out in my mind is a young lady whose family came here from the Ukraine.
Oh, wow.
And she's sailed with us in the summer. There's a women's sailing organization named SAYC who gave scholarships specifically for a young woman. And she took that one on in the summer and ended up joining our racing program. And now she
How
races
cool.
and stays year round on the water with us. Yeah.
So
That's
she feels
amazing.
confident and
Yeah,
everything. Oh,
and
that's
she's
amazing.
fantastic. Yeah.
That's so cool. I love that.
Very cool.
And SAS is a great organization. We've had them on the show. I'm friends with Susan.
Yeah.
Really?
And so yeah, they're fantastic. They're wonderful. We love SAS.
That's awesome. When were they on the show last?
I think SAS came on maybe in May or
Awesome.
June.
Very cool.
One of Mike's vacations. On and off.
Oh, of course, yeah, definitely, right?
Yeah, SAS has like 3 or 4 races through the year, and it's St. Augustine Sailing Sisters.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get participation of women. And there's also Women on the Water, WOW.
Yeah.
And they're doing another race. And then the St. Augustine Yacht Club puts together Wednesday night races for adults through and offshore. So the schedule this year is insane. We have so many races coming up, and it's different boats and sizes. So if there's anyone out there that has a boat and wants to come racing, we're trying to make it entry level. You don't have to be a member of the yacht club or affiliated with one. You can just come out and race and have some fun.
So how long have you been a part of like the race circuit in sailing?
I think I started racing when I was still at Flagler College, so I was probably 20.
That's awesome.
awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, it's exhilarating for the race. I mean, like,
Angie's
talk
a
about your
badass.
experience. I know you were totally. I know you were like the wrangler of boats during like a hurricane. She'll post
yeah.
a video. She'll be like, "Oh, just last out a couple boats to get them into the port. We're all right. We're getting there."
Because it's surprisingly easy to pull a boat by a line, and
Yeah.
so like people don't think about it. But if it's loose, I mean, what else are you gonna do? You're gonna
She's
saddle up
like
like a
MacGyver on the
cowgirl, and
water.
you're
I
gonna
love it.
lasso it.
But talk about your racing.
So we're going to have the Frostbite Series is coming up in February. Right now we're doing a newbie regatta, which
Okay.
is so the boats that have never been out before. So this weekend we had a seminar at the yacht club and just talked about the very basics of racing.
Okay.
And how to stay out of the way, how to start a race, how to go around a mark. And we're going to go on the water next weekend or this coming weekend and get it in action. So we're going to have kind of it's a pretend race or it's a race, but it's kind of practice getting you ready for the year. And then we'll have 4 series inshore and then offshore. And then the yacht club also does St. Augustine Race Week, which I'm sure people have heard about, which is a week long. The youth sailing does a lot of that inshore.
Yeah, the St. Augustine Race Week, actually, what they fundraise, all their funds go to is youth sailing scholarships in our region. So not just to the St. Augustine Yacht Club, but a few other clubs that have youth programs in our area, in our region.
Oh, really?
Which is a wonderful thing. It's a John Meehan Memorial Scholarship Fund.
How cool is that?
Who was a member of the yacht club and an active racer in our yacht club.
I mean, aside from age, what is it? What's a kid's race versus an adult race? Like, are they like the length? Is that different?
I would say mainly it's a type of boat.
Okay.
So traditionally, adults sail the bigger boats. We call them the perf boats that get their own rating, kind of like a golf handicap. So it doesn't matter what boat you have, you can come race, and everybody's times out kind of differently to keep it fair.
Oh, wow.
Whereas the kids sail one design boats that are all exactly the same.
Okay.
And it's just what you do with the boat. So it's usually shorter, faster races in the smaller boats. And the bigger
And those
boats
tip over sometimes.
Oh yeah,
Do
they
they
capsize.
really?
Kids learn how to do all that. Yeah.
The kids are out in Salt Run. You can go see them out there a lot of the time, and they'll, just the boats will tip over. The kids will go in the water. They'll jump back out and keep racing. It's crazy.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Yeah, it's
Brave little things.
Well, they're kids. They're bendy.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you going to
Malleable,
do?
yeah.
A layer of blubber.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like dolphins.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a skill who can ride their boat the fastest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
Well, you have to. I mean, when you fall down, you've got to pick yourself back up. Same when you're in the water.
So
Gotta
like
get yourself back
tying
up.
knots obviously is a very big part of the culture. I think a lot of people are rolling their eyes at this question. But like honestly, is there like multiple different knots that you have to learn?
You should
alley-oop it.
You should absolutely know at least 4 to 5 basic knots.
Yeah?
In your skill set to be capable and handy
Yeah.
and reliable.
Yeah.
When I was on the schooner, we couldn't go aloft until we had learned 3 basic knots. So there's the square knot, we called it the bowline. Is that the way you pronounce it? Okay. So
Most
it's pronounced
useful for
bow line, but
Bowling.
it's
written
spelled bow line, but we pronounced it bowline. And then there was one more that I can't remember now, but I can still tie a bow line.
Probably the clove hitch or sheet.
Yeah, there was a hitch in there somewhere.
Yeah.
I
hitch
remember
him and giddy up.
you would do this and the grandma's underpants. Remember like with the string thing? You remember that? That's the only
We
knot
didn't learn it
tying.
with
You didn't-
grandma's
It's a
underpants.
very northern thing.
But we
everybody.
learned the monkey fist just because we wanted to, that little ball knot that's on the keychains. That's a monkey fist. So we learned how to do that just because it was cool.
I see the Hobby Lobby very often.
Yes. Well, at one point I could tie that, and I could have sold it at Hobby Lobby.
So speaking of fancy, you guys
Yes.
have a gala coming up, right?
Yes.
Talk about this.
February 13th.
Okay.
So in honor of the 150th, they're making a big deal about it. It's at the River House, and it's going to be the first time I'm going. So I'm excited.
Okay.
I have no idea what dress
That
I'm
looks
going to wear.
amazing.
but-
Yeah, is there like
Yeah.
a theme? What is the theme of this? I think it's masquerade.
So
It's a
it's
masquerade
Grand
ball.
Ball Masquerade is what the picture on the screen says.
Very nice.
And it's black tie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, black tie attire with masquerade masks required.
Ooh, do you have your mask yet?
That is going to be a big reveal.
Oh, I'm so excited. Yes, that's so cool.
Looking forward to
What
it.
about you?
Yeah. Oh, I do. I have like a costume box in my house.
Yes.
I've got.
Somewhere that you're just going to dust it off and be like, I got this Phantom of
That's
the
right.
Opera style. Like it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be cool. So you said there's like a silent auction element too that's going to be highlighted
Yeah, that's
here.
correct. So this is like a celebratory event. You know, the Yacht Club, this is a monumentous 150th year celebration. It's really cool. But Henry Flagler, it's carrying on his tradition. So Henry Flagler was a member of the Yacht Club and a founding member. And he had this ball on February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day.
No way,
back
get
in the day.
out.
So they're honoring his tradition and putting it on, which I think is super cool.
That is a really cool fact.
Yeah, and in addition to all that cool stuff, and that'll just be a wonderful party. And it's right before Valentine's Day that they are having a silent auction as a part of the event, and the silent auction, all proceeds will go to the construction of the new sailing center being built right next to the yacht club for the youth sailing center.
Wow. So what is that going to look like? Is that going to be a dock? What is that going to be?
So the plans are online on our website, but basically it's a 1-story building with an rooftop observational deck. So you can stand on top and see Salt Run and see the kids take off with a dock, access to the water,
Very
safe
cool.
access to the water, because we currently go off the public access beach and boat ramp.
And it's right
can
next
get
to your
very-
current building, right?
It is right next to it.
Awesome.
Yeah, it'd be beautiful complementary buildings. Really cool thing once it's built.
That's
We are
awesome.
Can you tell
actively
everybody
fundraising for that.
about how you guys got this incredible piece of land to be able to do this?
Yeah, I would love to. There's a wonderful family here, the Paris family in St. Augustine. They're
Yeah.
longtime members of the Yacht Club. Stanley Paris has sailed many oceans. and decided to, when the property was a residential property, came up, he purchased it and he donated it to be a youth sailing center.
Wow.
And we went around for many years with the city to try to figure out how to make this happen.
Yeah.
And we were successful last year with the deed and everything in the lease. So basically the city leases it back to us, and it'll be zoned for governmental use, and hopefully
is
we'll have a
so
sailing center for a
cool.
long time.
Wow, that is going to be such a special thing. I mean, it's really definitely going to improve your programs, right?
Absolutely. The first and foremost will improve the safety of the program.
Okay.
But also just the water access and, having classrooms.
Yeah.
And, showers and facilities and lockers and storage and all the stuff that we need at the yacht club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked to Commissioner Joy Andrews that came on the morning show a couple days ago, and she talked about the importance of boat ramps within St. Johns County and the significance of how we don't have very many of them. Do you guys agree with that? Like, she's really has done some.
100%.
Okay, yeah, talk about that. Like, where should there be some more growth?
They're
there?
just so busy.
Yeah.
The ones that we have. And then the one in the lighthouse is always dangerous coming in and out to A1A, like with not only your truck, but a giant trailer behind it.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, the boat ramps that we have now are just so overwhelmed that it'd be great to have more access to the water.
Yeah.
We have like one of the most beautiful inlets in the state of Florida. There's not many. People don't realize that. Not every city has this perfect inlet, and water and ocean access, and ours is right here. So I think that is a reason why we see such congestion at our local boat ramps. It's just so nice to get out.
Yeah.
So it definitely is an issue, and that's, one huge plus on having the sailing center and dock. It's just that safety issue where you don't have to use that public access anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got so I had your website up, and it was scrolling for the viewers to see, and it says that the groundbreaking ceremony was January 21st. So that was last year. Did it break ground? Okay, so how's construction? What's the schedule looking like?
So the dock is in its completion phase. That was
Awesome.
priority to get that built. So while the sailing center is built, we can still use the dock and the ramp to hit the water. And the foundation and plumbing, rough plumbing is all done. And soon we should see vertical progress.
Very cool. So do you have the type of dock? Is it like pylons or is it floating
good question.
Tell
dock?
you about this dock.
Tell me.
can't wait.
Yeah.
So we have these like little, it's these cubes that float, and you hook them together. And Tim and I went by the center, and they had, I think I counted 12 pallets full of them.
Awesome.
And the weather was terrible that weekend.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, we're going to get this done on Saturday. And I was like, there's no way.
Yeah.
They're going to, 12 pallets of stuff, and the weather was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And this powerhouse over here managed 30 people and got it all done in one day.
That's amazing.
There's a volunteer named Steve who did a lot of legwork for that, and it just all the volunteers showed up, and so it's a 306-foot long dock to walk out on above the water, and then a gangway down to the floating pier, which is what Angie was describing, which are these dock blocks all put together. This 85 by 25, which will be enough to house some boats, and also every kid can wheel their little boat down and launch it from there.
Very awesome.
It was put together in one day. It was pretty incredible.
So are those the puzzle piece, the plastic puzzle? So I think Marineland they got those when I was working there, and we had to assemble those, and they are super intimidating to look at because they're huge. But once you get them on the water, they're really easy to move around, and you just slide them together like puzzle pieces.
Yep.
But it's a whole feat.
Yeah, it looks really cool out there.
That's
on
awesome.
Run. Yeah.
So that's there now, and we can go and see that now.
Yeah, you can go and see it from the water. Right now, we're just waiting on the certificate of occupancy from the fire department. Just a couple logistical things,
very cool.
then we'll once we have that, you will see us out there daily.
Oh, I can't
Awesome.
wait. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So what else is coming from the Masquerade Ball? The proceeds that are going to be raised from this, is it all going to the youth center, or is it definitely going to be more for the club too? Or
I'm not sure exactly. I feel like they're going to cover their costs, and then if there's leftover.
how is the culture
that's
of the
how
club doing? Is membership great? How is
Membership in the last year tripled.
Yeah.
Oh,
It went
wow,
from
that's great.
150 to over 300 or close to 400 people. So membership, Michelle Bennett did a great job last year getting memberships up and making it a lot more fun.
It truly is a special moment. I mean, my Rotary Club still meets there to this day, and it's an incredible moment when you go to the yacht club. You get to see all the history and like everything that's pulled into that
Beautiful spot.
It's absolutely stunning.
Because there's like plaques and pictures and the histories on the walls.
Oh
right?
yeah, and more so, it's just such a cool space when you walk into it. There's burgees. Burgees are the triangular like shape cutout that everyone wears, and it represents each yacht club or sailing center. Kind of has one that represents who they are. And I'm like wondering, I think it's right here.
Oh, I see it. Yay, there it is.
So there's burgees from
Perfect.
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah.
burgees from around the world are all hanging all overhead at the sailing center. It's or the yacht club. It's one of the coolest things I think about it. So not only do you have all these historical photos of the yacht club back in the day and where it was, and just amazing photographs and history all along the walls, but overhead you have burgees from people who have sailed here from all around the world. It's called the Burgee Lounge. Yeah.
Is there anybody
That's
significant that you remember?
Oh gosh, the whole Burgee book is full of cool, significant people, and I mean just so many.
Yeah.
I can't even.
We have even just local sailors like Steve Pengill has done around the world alone. I think 3 times.
Solo.
Wow.
Solo
Wow.
around the world.
Dude, just on his own.
Talking to him and the stories that he tells, it never gets old.
Do you have
And
any
that
anecdotes from stories that he's told you?
Oh, my favorite, I make him tell me all the time and I still won't get it right, but he was sailing next to this guy and he was like, man, that guy's really hardcore. He hasn't left his cockpit, like where you steer the boat. He's like, he hasn't moved in like a day. Like he hasn't gone anywhere. He's just so intense. And finally he sailed close enough and asked Steve to throw him a knife because his hand was stuck. So that's why he
literally was singing for a day.
He was like, when is that guy going to come over here and talk to me? Well, when you do that kind of solo sail, I know like with swimming the channel and things like that, you have support boats. Does he have support boats when he does that, or he's just on his own?
It was in the 80s.
Good gracious.
So we're talking
The 80s were a wild time.
Cell phone. He had a what do you call it? A single sideband radio.
Okay.
So like a very high powered radio. He could talk to people. But yeah, communication was.
Have you ever done an extraordinary trip? I mean, maybe not all the way around the world, but like.
The longest sails I've done is like from Daytona to Charleston.
Oh, wow.
And that's happening again this year. It's the Gulf Streamer in
That's
May.
cool.
And that's so much fun.
race.
And we're talking about having a thing at the yacht club to talk about offshore racing and what it entails.
Yeah, what does it entail? Like,
Well, bring water.
okay. That's a really
Always
good
bring
thing.
water. When you think like I'm surrounded by
Well, how
water.
many days are we talking about here? Like,
It was, we finished it last time in like 32 hours, 36 hours. But I don't like plastic bottles.
yeah.
So I didn't bring enough water
Oh,
for
wow.
my crew. So we had to drink beer for the last
Hey,
6 hours.
The heartbreak. It's very historic.
Yeah.
I mean,
It gets you a little
150 years.
inspired
You're
by
just
the
kicking
end.
it old
Yeah,
school.
that's all.
But you
Yeah.
learn. Every time you go sailing, you learn something.
So what does it look like if it's a multiple day race? Like, do you like stop? Does everybody have to stop at a certain spot? Okay, no, you just keep going.
No, there are
Okay.
watches.
Oh, tell
You
me.
schedule
right.
watches.
Yeah?
Amanda knows.
We had 3 watches on the ship, and so it's 24-hour working because
Wow.
you can't park. You're not still on a ship, and so you not only have to make sure you don't hit something else, you have to make sure something else doesn't hit you.
Right.
And so yeah, we did.
Or some fluke gust of wind. I don't know what happens.
Yeah, because you might need to tack, you might need to change your sails, you might need to change your direction
That's
based
when you
on the
have to
weather.
bend over and duck underneath the boom.
Well, tacking's
nothing.
turning.
Okay.
Tacking's turning.
Thank you.
Yeah, but yeah, there is the watch for the boom.
God bless you.
That's why it's
you
called
gotta
the
come
boom.
with a sailing
I
sometime.
think that would be a hot mess.
think
You guys
that's
know
the
I would be.
last
That'd be so
Field
much
trip.
fun.
What a great field trip that would be.
Oh, all right. I mean,
We
the kids could probably
definitely
teach me
need to
this
do
part.
this as a 904 on the
Okay.
ground segment.
Yeah.
Everybody wants me to do this.
Oh,
They
yeah.
want me to see me scream.
In the 420.
I love it.
We'll give you a life vest, don't worry.
That'll be fun. Yeah, that'll be great.
But do you know how to swim?
Oh, please. I'm a merman. Yes.
My man, father. My man.
So, Amanda, when was the last time you were on a sailboat?
It's been the last time has really been the schooner Freedom, and it's just like, you know, you're looking at things and like, okay, well, I know that's the lift. It's got the little leather strap through it. Like, there's things that I kind of remember from 20 years
comes
ago,
back a little.
but you know, that's just drinking wine on a sailboat. That's not the same
What do you
thing.
think about like kiddos in your world that if they wanted to sail, would you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have friends who's actually the skippers. I don't know if they're with you guys. So they have gone to our church. Yeah. And so I know she's always with you guys on Sundays. And so I don't get to see her very often at church.
Yeah, sailing and racing, like especially youth racing, it's a whole world.
It's a whole thing.
What do you think the biggest thing the kids pull away? Like, I feel like, and I haven't done it as a kid, but I feel like the independence of going out, like, if I was 8 years old, I think I'd be too scared. But don't listen to me, kids.
Right.
I have so much
well, that's because you know what your
admiration
like you
for them.
know the intensity.
Right?
A kid doesn't.
They don't know.
They don't look at it like life or death kind of situation. My oldest daughter would. She'd be like,
I know.
My mom's a marine biology person. I know what's in these waters. She would not want to fall off. But like my son and my youngest, I think they would just be like, as soon as the waves hit them and the rush of the wind, I mean, that's a whole thing.
It's a rush.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a tough question. I think that freedom is a definite, it's one of the top ones. But really what I see is just the confidence that kids get, just the amount of split-second decision-making they have to have, their problem-solving skills, not to mention teamwork and a bunch of other things. It just, the responsibility level to get there and rig your boat and make sure it's safe for the day and get out there. Everything is on you. We teach you how to, but then that's your responsibility. So really, I think all those things combined, you just watch kids' confidence just grow. And they eventually want to become the young instructors. We have 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old certified instructors who started because they came to camp and they had that first experience of, wow, this is great.
Where does it start? Like, where do you start with a student?
Summer camp.
Okay.
We start with everything from parts of the boat. What is the bow? What is the stern? What is starboard? What is port?
Okay.
And then we go into points of sail. What does it mean to tack or to jibe? We make sure you understand the boat and how it works. And then we drive power boats while everybody's on their little sailboats. And we follow them around. We set up marks and objectives and games and we keep it fun.
But how long is it until they get into the water? Because I'm sure they're just antsy just to get
They're
to
on the water day one. So we do a quick swim test and we teach them what a capsize is and how to ride it, make it super fun because it might happen.
Yeah.
It always does. And then we take them for a first sail kind of on day one and we start teaching them. And by the end of the week at sail camp, they're sailing their own boat.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
That is such a cool skill to have.
Yeah.
I'm envious. I just
Yeah.
You can do a lawnmower. That's about basically it.
Well, I mean, I love it really is independence because especially today, I mean, there's a lot of talk about helicopter parenting, but you can't bubble wrap your kid and make sure that they're safe from the consequences of all their decisions when they're alone on a sailboat. And so for some of these kids, I'm sure it's the first time that they've had the opportunity to make their own decisions and feel the consequences of those decisions, right or wrong. And there's something super empowering about that. And
100%. It's, we have a you must drop off policy. No offense, parents, we love you, but this is for your kids. Drop them off and kids alone end up showing you things, and parents are like, oh, my child's done what?
Right?
Wow,
Yeah.
they're capable of
give them a little bit of
that,
freedom to go and do that. Yeah. Wow, Angie, could you have any stories like some giant whale was next to the boat, or any kind of moment? What do you do in those moments?
I jumped in once.
Did you really?
That is a good story.
Yeah,
Okay.
I want to hear Angie's, but you have moments of wildlife approaching your boat, and it's usually incredible and awe-inspiring. And I think we were on the Gulf, on the west coast of Florida, out in the Gulf. And it was just a beautiful, clear day. I was with a good two sail team parents that ended up becoming good friends and delivering one of their boats around. And there was this pod of dolphin came right straight through towards our bow. That's not the time I jumped in, but that was beautiful. Anyway, another trip, same area. A dolphin came right up the side of the boat, and they kind of will turn and give you an eye. And I was like, just so cute. I'm going to swim with you. And I think I jumped over, and Carlton was like, what the heck? It was just the two of us. We're in a catamaran, so it was pretty easy. And it was.
Did you get to interact with the dolphin?
Oh, no.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but there's moments. I don't think I'd do that again, but it was a nice day.
Racing in the intercoastal, not a lot of interaction with marine life, but some people say rubbing is racing. So you get really close and tight with other boats, and words are said, and a lot of jokes. And
Yeah, I believe it.
Trash talking across the
Can
bow.
you send some over? Or, so
I just got a text from Susan from SAS, and she says
good.
hi to y'all, and that she
Oh,
loves
sweet.
y'all, and she's super jealous that she's not here with us right now. Hi, Susan. Sorry.
Susan.
Hi, Susan from SAS.
Yeah, it's wild what'll pop up next to you. So we were in the North Atlantic when I was on the schooner, obviously being around Boston. We had a basking shark, and I didn't know that was a thing because I was a marine mammal person. I wasn't a fish person. And so this big old shark is coming, and it's slow and it's brown, and I'm like, what am I looking at right now? And as it got closer, you see the head shape, and like, why does it look like a filter feeding? Like, it's not a whale shark. Like, I know those. And one of the crew members was like, yeah, that's a basking shark. It was a big one. It was like 15 feet.
Really?
And it just swam right up to our starboard side and just kind of hung out for a second and then took off.
Nice.
And yeah, I
Wow.
was stuck working the schooner while they were off with humpback whales. So the
Yeah.
basking shark gave me a fun story.
You were closer to the wine. Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
seen right here in Salt Run, a pod. Who knows? What is it called? A group of stingray.
I like the word pod.
I believe a school because it's
Oh.
a fish, but I'll look it up.
Escuela in
Yeah,
Who
Spanish.
knows? Of the spotted eagle ray, and I've seen them
Those are
once or
amazing.
twice a year, and they come all the way down Salt Run. There's this like the danger submerged rock sign, and I've seen them there specifically 3 times. They must feed somewhere, but we had a recent SAS race, SAS again, the bikini race, where we were out near the conch hole, and I was sailing downwind and racing. I was actually racing myself, which is not often. And I saw 2 right underneath my boat.
Really?
And so the spotted eagle rays are cool. A lot of people don't know they're here. And then at summer camp at low tide, we'll take the kids to various islands that pop up in mudflats at low tide.
Nice.
And there's an island that we call Conch Island, and it's just hundreds of conch. People don't know. You have to get to it by boat. There's no
That's
land
so cool.
access.
Oh, wow.
It's really beautiful. Yeah, there's so many cool hidden gems. In
I'm
St.
sure you
Augustine.
know. Yeah, like
the
all
kids
these
all
like
find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever found like sunken treasure or any kind of like? Can you talk about a little bit about that?
So I would say sunken treasure being the kids and I raced on our fun days. We raced the Hobies around to Rattlesnake Island.
Okay.
Right at the jetty.
Yeah.
At the inlet. Okay, so if you go around, there was a sunken sailboat that had washed up. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but it had a really tall mast, and the mast had steps for the first third of the way up. And it was just the coolest thing. We like raced, it's like probably almost a mile to get around where the sailboats pop up and then run around the inlet side. And it was just a cool shipwreck that all the kids
that is
climbed on
so
and explored and
fun.
dug through. And I think somebody took a block with them and something
Cool.
else. So yeah.
That's awesome. I
was
love
a fun
those
little
like
thing.
stories of adventure.
So it turns out the collective noun or the group name for stingrays is a fever.
I was definitely
It's a fever
Yes.
of rays.
I knew
remember
that.
for trivia.
That's
I was
right.
definitely going to say that next.
Still camp
yeah.
trivia.
Next guess.
Yeah.
Still camp trivia when it rains or thunders or lightnings. We like to do stuff.
Yeah. What do you guys do
Ooh,
for
that's
weather?
fun.
Yeah. What's your
Tons
pivot?
of stuff.
Okay.
I used to be an educator off the water. And so I just have a lot of ideas and fun things. And the staff and I will get together before every, session and come up with some new games and stuff. But we have tons of fat weather, fun stuff to play like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good.
Lots of knots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I believe
lots of
it. Yeah.
But knots are fun. You can do all kinds of like fun rope games and things as
yeah.
well. But then you get into like races of who can tie the knot faster, and then you test to make sure you didn't mess up. Michelle Santorelli says, "Sunken treasure. We're on the water, not under it." And I mean, that's the goal, right?
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Captain Obvious,
love
Michelle.
Michelle,
Thank
too.
you. Thank you. Love her. She's great.
That's amazing.
Well, cool. This is awesome. I'm really excited about the gala coming up. When's the date on that again?
It's February 13th, right?
Okay. Yes.
before Valentine's
Day
Day.
before
And
Valentine's
it's open
Day.
to the public.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So
We've got ticket site. The
Okay.
ticket site is part of the StAugustineYachtClub.com, and there's a place where you can click for ticket purchases, and there's a member login, but I believe there's also an option to buy even if you're not a member, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Awesome.
And then if anyone out there listening is interested in sailing, Tim Tucker is the Rear Commodore of Sail.
Okay.
So that's his new job this year, who's my partner in crime. And so just reach out to him, which is Race Commodore of Sail, RCOS
Got it.
at St. Augustine Yacht Club.
So I've got the membership link up right now.
Perfect.
And scrolling down, there's membership.staugustineyc@gmail.
Yeah.
And then there's
And his is
manager.
RCOS
RCOS. Okay.
with the same ending.
And then the
Perfect.
events, you have the calendar up there, and there's Blessing of the Feet, which is something that's coming up, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, what is that? Blessing of the Fleet.
Blessing of the Feet, isn't it normally on Palm Sunday?
Sunday.
Yeah.
Which is
Right.
March 22nd this
What
year.
happens with
It's
that?
early.
Get holy water.
How fun. Right, we talk about this. Doesn't it happen at, does it
Yeah.
happen at City Marina? Am I saying
Yeah.
that right? Oh,
So
okay, good.
there's a Catholic
Right.
officiant
Officiant, yes.
Yeah.
that goes down, and all the boats swing by kind of the dock there at the city, and he
Cool.
blesses them.
So-
That's fun. Do you guys do this too, or is this like you guys pull up with their?
I have not been blessed.
Oh,
I have not been
we
blessed
need to
either.
get you
Well, you
blessed.
have to
I've not been
register to be
blessed.
blessed, right?
Right.
Do you?
You do.
So if you go to the St. Augustine Yacht Club website, which I have up on the screen right now,
Okay.
in the events, there's a Blessing of the Feet, Blessing of the Fleet.
I like the feet
Not
though.
feet,
Yeah.
fleet.
Pedicure.
And then the
Not
date,
just for sailboats.
the date's last year's
Oh, it's
date.
not.
But
Not
you
just
can
sailboats. Power boats.
you can
Power
click on
boats can do
there
it too.
for
They just gotta go
rules
slow.
and all that and to register.
Fishing boats.
Yeah, fishing boats,
Yep.
power boats, everybody.
Shrimp
Anybody with a boat.
boats.
If you
so
float,
that
you can be
email
blessed.
was rcos@sayc.club.
Yes.
Very nice.
Thank you.
You guys are awesome, and I'm really
that Tim can get
excited
blown
to
up.
hear about all these great programs. And I love that the kids have opportunities, like you
yeah.
said. The 501c3 is a brand new entity for our community. I love all these great stories, and I love listening today about you and your schooner stories.
I have-
I learn something new about you every time we come on the show.
My memoirs are shaping up nicely. But I'm telling all my stories on air, so I'm not
It's
going to be able to
wonderful.
publish
It's like a
them.
Lifetime movie every day. Yeah.
But you guys do the Regatta of Lights, I see.
Yeah.
I love the Regatta of Lights. Talk to me about this. It's one of my favorite events
oh, I
downtown.
love this one too. I do see
Yes.
this one. Yeah.
So that brings down so many people downtown. It's one of the big attractors during Nights of Lights, and people line the bridge and all along the bayfront. Davey, you do a big thing with Funky Town.
Yeah, we go to Beth's house. It's so fun.
And then the boats do a little circle twice, and people vote on the boats, and then there's a party afterwards at the yacht club. And again, you don't have to be a member of the yacht club to do this. So we had 25 boats this year, and
Which one was yours?
we were the Christmas tree.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so the green Christmas tree, and we got second most colorful or second best theme.
Oh, wow.
Serendipity.
Our theme was Christmas tree.
Very nice.
I'm looking at the winners.
Rockstar.
So you won
Rockstar.
second best theme.
That's it.
Yeah.
Our theme was Christmas tree.
Christmas tree.
Do you do that?
Oh,
as
Christmas
well?
tree.
Keep it simple.
I did. I was actually up in Jacksonville at a youth regatta all day and all weekend racing on the St. Johns River, but I raced back and jumped on my friend's boat and definitely had a good time out there in the
That's
water.
so
with
much
my
fun.
friends, so.
I always wanted to know, what goes on the boats? Because
I'm
we're
so
on
jealous.
land.
I wanna be on the boat.
Are you guys
Because,
partying?
You must come
awesome.
and attend to find out. So, yeah,
Is that
it's always
an
a good time.
invitation? Because
It
I'm
is.
coming.
Yeah, totally.
Like
We had
100%.
eggnog and music and try not to hit anything in the dark.
I love it. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, it
is such
usually takes place over my parents' wedding anniversary.
Oh, nice.
And so when they first moved here, it was like, it's nice of St. Augustine to throw us this big party.
I know, right?
Anniversary.
It's so great.
So
Yeah,
regal.
I actually remember being younger. I grew up here, and I remember seeing that event from the water.
yeah.
Yeah.
My fam, yeah.
That's so fun.
How long has
circle
that been
now.
going on for now?
Ever.
Yeah, right.
Long
40 some
I know.
years. You know.
42nd annual.
Thank you.
Hey, 42 years. How nice.
There's such a long history with the yacht club that I didn't realize. It's 150 years, and Henry Flagler was founding member. So you would have all of these wealthy tycoons come down with Henry Flagler on his railroad, and they needed someplace to party. So they would party here during the season, which I guess was like January to Marchish or April.
And if you look at old pictures of St. Augustine, it was downtown, just north of the Bridge of Lions. There was a pier and a building.
Okay.
And I think that's so cool. I wish
that the
I wish
original-
they'd build it back.
Yeah.
Is that the original one that got, so like I deep dived on YouTube, guys. Is that the one that got destroyed by the hurricane with a lot of the records?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool. Can you imagine just a pier sticking straight out before the fort? So in
That's
between the bridge and
wild.
the fort, this beautiful
Yeah.
pier and building, and there's these beautiful ships coming to dock. The photos are awesome. at
All
the yacht
these
club.
like super wealthy yachts with all these.
and small
Yeah.
fishing yachts, just anything with the sail on it, just pulling up and Yeah, I think the misconception is that people think sailing is some upper class sport. And while it certainly used to be and is, the access to the water is just so abundant around and to boating. I mean, we see kids and adults from all different kinds and shapes and sizes sailing out on the water now, which is just awesome.
That's so cool.
Anyone can learn. You can learn pretty quickly, then you just refine your skills. And sailing, it just becomes a lifetime hobby for most.
I mean, I am a world famous cruiser. Like, you could put me on a cruise ship.
Oh.
I could definitely rock.
Are you going to retire as the
cruise director?
Cruise director.
Everybody's always said that I would be an incredible cruiser. I think I would be good at that.
I think you would be amazing.
Shepherd fun for people.
I would be your second in command on a cruise director.
Awesome.
That would be so much fun.
I definitely feel more secure if you're with me.
Absolutely, I'll do it.
You can tie the knots.
I'll help you. Tie what knot exactly? I might not be able to name them, but I can tie some.
Good stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool history, and some of it is tied even to the Civil War and to we had Union generals that were part of the yacht club that are part of Juneteenth. So Juneteenth is in 2020, it became a federal holiday for Juneteenth as June 19th. And that's the day that a St. Augustine general that was your first Commodore traveled to Texas and told slaves in Texas that they were free.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so that was, I have his name on my phone because
That's
I did
amazing.
research, but that was your first Commodore. And I couldn't believe it. It's amazing history right here in St. Augustine.
I didn't know it was from St. Augustine.
That I wouldn't expect to find when I was researching the yacht club.
Yeah.
For sure. That's very cool. Was that on that YouTube video?
It was on the YouTube video. I'll send it to you. I can put it in the comments. But I've got the picture somewhere on here, so I have to
we should
find
play that at the yacht club.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an incredible fact. Great job there, sleuth. Great job.
I'm a dork. I Google.
No, you're not.
So Major General Gordon Granger. He was U.S. Army, first Commodore of St. Augustine Yacht Club. And he was sent, and if I'm remembering this correctly, because that's why I saved it, because there were two Civil War generals that were baptized in the font that still exists at Trinity Parish, where I go to church. One fought for the Union and one fought for the Confederacy. And the one that was in the Confederacy was in Texas. So I'm pretty sure that this is the same story and the same trip. But I could be wrong, and I tried to fact check it. But Father Matt, who's been on the show, he'll have to sign on in the comments and let us know. So this Confederate general this is before cell phones, obviously, so he's still fighting because he hasn't found out that they lost yet. Oh, yeah. And so they're like, well, we'll send your childhood friend to tell you because you'll believe him. You wouldn't necessarily believe some stranger that's like, hey, by the way, the war's over.
Yeah.
And we
would
won.
you?
Yeah, exactly.
The war's over and you lost, so give me all your stuff. Who's going to believe that story? And so they sent a childhood friend that they had gone to church together, obviously, and he's the one that accepted the surrender from the last holdout in Texas. And I believe that's connected to that trip where the slaves were told that they were free.
Look at
and all of that is connected to you guys.
Girl, that was amazing.
I'll claim that.
Sorry. If I'm wrong, then I'll put it in the comments later.
No, you are not
I'm pretty
wrong.
sure it's right.
We're definitely going to
believe
have
you.
to print out some of those photos and stories. We're going to build bury a time capsule at the Sailing Center.
Yeah.
Oh, are you really going to do that? That's awesome.
That's
what are you
so
going to
cool.
do? How does this work?
Well, I'm figuring it out.
Okay. You're like,
Short
we know
answer.
that.
Yeah, but just cool things from the bibs and pennies we've worn for racing on the water to, articles and maybe pieces of equipment or a sail or, logos, burgees.
Yeah.
All that sort of stuff to open maybe like a 10-year and a 50-year and a 100-year.
How
Yeah.
cool.
Well,
That'd be
that's
so
super
fun.
cool.
That is awesome.
And you have such a long history that so much could be a part of that. And you guys are now a part of that really extensive history. And I'm finding that link right now, and I'm going to drop it in the comments of this show so that you guys can watch it and so that you guys can see this lecture too. It was a super cool lecture. She wasn't like an expert in the yacht club necessarily, but she was an expert in Henry Flagler. And so by extension, learned about the yacht club and came and talked. So it was really cool. She talked about a lot of the early Commodores. I think she talked about the first three more extensively and where she found the information. And it was kind of a hike to find all of this information.
It's a great deep dive.
We're going to have to get you guys out on the little boats. Do a
sure.
little race between you and Mike and Pete
Oh,
and
let's do
Amanda.
it. Definitely.
Yeah.
I would like
Give
to
you
get
each a good
last.
skipper?
Yeah.
Good.
Nice
Put you
and
on
slow.
with a 17-year-old with a junior.
Okay.
Yeah. Put us on with the kids.
Yes.
Have
Yep.
us
You'll
like
be out
a
there with the
second mate to the
kids.
kids.
I just want a strong rudder.
Great.
I know nothing.
Tiller.
I'm trying.
So, you know. So I've got that video. I'm copying it now.
Oh,
and I'm
thank
going to
you.
get it in the comments. It's about a 41-minute video, but I found it very interesting. I thought I was going to be like homework for my job, but it was really interesting and I enjoyed it, and it was over before I expected.
Oh, fun.
You touched a little bit about races that are coming up, but could you just run down like what's coming up? What can people look forward to?
We have a newbie regatta, which is going to bring new boats and new people onto the water this coming Saturday. And then we've got the Frostbite series, which is going to be on Saturdays in February, and starting at 11 a.m. And that's for the adults.
What is a
and
Frostbite
the bigger
series?
boats. It's cold out.
Okay, and they only go for a little bit at a time, or is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the race ends up being probably about 4 miles, 2 miles, 4 miles.
Okay.
So you're out on the water for a couple of hours, and then you go back to the yacht club for drinks after.
That sounds lovely.
And we're going to have awards every day with your name lasered on it. If
Very
you won.
nice. Very
Yeah.
cool.
So cool.
So that's a 4-week series.
Okay.
And then there's going to be the spring series, summer series, fall series, and that's all inshore. And then we're going to have offshore series as well. And those are always really interesting. The yacht club has like the
About one a month.
yeah. There's
Sometimes
the
two.
John Meehan Memorial Race.
Right.
Meehan
That's so cool to
from
keep his
Meehan's
memory.
Irish pub.
Yeah. Incredible.
In memory of him. And then there's like Pedro's something and a Conquistador and a Compass
Is there a qualifier
Rose.
one that like gets you to like the next level, or there?
Nope.
Okay. Because you
Yeah.
know, like sometimes in running,
Yeah.
like you have to qualify for the
Yeah.
Boston Marathon, or
We'll have 2 separate categories. So there's performance and then there's cruising.
Okay.
And so the performance boats are usually a little bit faster and have like the big colorful sails most of the time. And then the cruising boats are a little bit slower. They might have a grill or a dinghy on back.
Oh, right on. Okay.
So
Cool.
yeah.
Or both. And then the youth races are, so everything is usually inshore, but we travel to different regattas. We pack all our little boats up and hit the road, and we travel. So we go to about like 4 to 8 a season, depending on the time of the year. And in the springtime here, I think we're traveling to 6. So down in Jensen Beach, in Jacksonville, Mount Dora, some lake stuff, Lake Eustis, Mount Dora, the river in Jacksonville. So we'll be busy traveling all season. We always post our results and stuff on our website.
Difference between lakes and ocean. I mean, is there?
Oh yeah, current.
Yeah,
just one
right.
big factor.
True,
you know,
true.
the kids love when we go to the lakes because they don't have to rinse their boats; they're not salty.
Right.
All their
Yeah.
equipment.
Saltwater is
The wind is a
terrible.
lot less predictable on
Yeah,
lakes.
it's much more shifty. I don't prefer it.
Okay.
Especially near the top mark, but it's totally different. It's really great. They get to race in many different kinds of body of water. See multiple kids just like them from other yacht clubs and sailing centers all around.
Yeah. Cool.
cool.
I love that experience. I didn't know the different waters. That was a good question. Let's see.
Yeah.
Have
And-
you experienced both types of water?
I was only in saltwater when I was on the schooner. The only place where I was on the water where I saw freshwater and saltwater meet, which is a wild experience, was in.
It's called brackish.
Well, that's when they mix. When they meet, there's like a line because they have specific gravities and this salinities.
They're laughing
and-
at me because they know I know nothing. Yeah, go ahead. I
And
mean, I
I
could
was
do like
smart.
the history of Christian
So-
Lacroix. I mean, like I'm ready for that.
I was doing dolphin research in Costa Rica, and
Okay,
there was
yeah.
a river that ran out where we were doing the research. And so there was just like this area where it was fresh, and then
Can
there
the
was
dolphins
a line.
go in the freshwater?
So in Costa Rica, there are a kind of freshwater dolphin called takushi, and they're not really well known. They're small. Rather than having a curved dorsal fin, it kind of looks more like a Dorito. So
sounds adorable.
They're so cute. But the long-term research project was trying to figure out if the bottlenose that were kind of transient in the area were intermating with the takushi dolphins. And so the takushi dolphins can go up the river and spend a decent amount of time, come back into the ocean. And the bottlenose dolphins, they can go up for short periods of time, but they can't hang out. But yeah, we were the first trip of college kids to ever get mating on video. So we're a bunch of
Wow, dolphin porn. Great. Wonderful.
Well, it was a family show.
Yeah.
It was a snuff film. It was two bottlenose taken on a takushi, and it did not look consensual.
That was behind the beaded curtain. Yes.
It was
Wow.
a key dolphin.
I was sitting there with my college professor, and we're like, well, it doesn't look
some
fun.
space here, yeah.
Well, they came right up to us because she was trying to get away from them.
Oh no!
And she came up to the
You didn't help
boat.
homegirl out.
What am I supposed to do? Jump in and fight with a
Karma's
bunch
gonna
of
get you, sugar.
bottlenose
Don't look at me.
dolphins? Like, I mean, there's a whole different thing.
I would have helped her out.
You're bigger than me.
I would have
You're
taken
probably
your knot.
faster than me
I hear
too.
you're a good swimmer.
Yeah, I would have shepherded her away.
Do you have a good dolphin call?
Maybe I need to work on that. Was that too flat and off key?
Might have to work on
Yeah.
It's a little triggering. Working around dolphins, all the people come up to the
triggering, it was
windows
good.
and they're like making dolphin noises to the dolphins through the windows, and we're all like,
Yeah, right. Oh, I know. I can
can't
only imagine.
listen
I can
to
only
people
imagine.
squeak anymore today.
I can only imagine. Yeah.
It's a thing. So it's a thing. But yeah, it was a wild one. But it is super cool when you see the water, and the boats definitely react to the water and interact with the water differently based on saltwater versus freshwater.
Barbara Jean's very happy with you right now
I know.
because you
That's
have
the closest I got to a stripper
a
story,
dolphin
Barbara.
stripper story. She's very happy that you've hit your Monday
She's
quota.
she's our very
She's our
consistent
comment
viewer.
hostess of the 904.
And she is, and she loves stripper stories whenever we bring
Yeah.
them in on the evening show. It's after dark here, so we get a little salty.
Oh, good stuff. Well, thank you guys so much for coming in today.
It was
Awesome.
such a good conversation.
Such enlightening, and like to learn about the programs that we don't really talk about. And I love getting a great spotlight on this. SAYC, very very
Thanks
cool.
for having us.
Yeah, so
Excited
exciting
to be here.
Yeah,
And we would love for you to come back whenever you have anything.
Yeah.
We do a Beaux-Arts Ford community update when we have news that we can share that people can interact with. Then let us know whatever events you have, and we'd be happy to put them on the community update.
We got a ton. We'll do it.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
So
Thank you
I'll
so
give you
much.
my email, and you can just shoot
Yeah.
it to me, any of your
Okay.
press stuff, and we can definitely include it in the community update.
That sounds great.
Thank you.
have
let
a
us know
fabulous gala.
When to get you guys on boats next.
Oh, let's do it. That'll be fun. It'll be a lot
Threaten
of
me
fun.
with a good time. I'm out in the water whenever you want.
Intercoastal, yeah.
Maybe we'll see some dolphins.
I would like it. I'll swim with them, my people. Yes, they understand me.
I can't let you do that.
They love me.
It's illegal to jump in the water with dolphins.
Well, I'll be
can't let
suggestive.
you do
I'll just work my corner like I do in Palaka. It'll be fine, honey. Yeah.
Oh man, we should have ended before that joke. Mike's gonna be calling me now.
They're all right. God bless. Do a little holy water. We're all right. But awesome show. Yes.
Yes, and we may or may not see Mike this week.
We may or may not.
We're definitely going to get more updates because, like I said, he's traveling with someone with my phone number. So you guys will get a glimpse into his travels.
Very interesting.
And you're coming back tomorrow.
I'm coming back tomorrow. Yes, everybody
Yes.
keep sending me relationship advice questions for
Yes.
Mike. I know Amanda will be here too. Always can weigh in. We love when we do that segment together. It's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah,
Yep.
everything is like anonymous. So don't worry
Yes.
about confidentiality.
We will
But
not
yeah,
divulge your name.
send that to me. I love the ones that are flying in. And we're going to have a great show tomorrow.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you all for joining us. It was so nice. Have a good night, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.